Why can't Barkha Dutt invite members from the RSS, the Bajrang Dal, the BJP and so on and ask them questions like, why do you wear saffron robes? Why do you drink the cow's urine while considering it to be sacred? Why do you not let the Shudras inside the temples? Why do you go naked in Haridwar? I'm talking about the Naga Babas. Why do you eat the flesh of the dead man while burning in the pyre? I'm talking about the Aghoris. Why do you worship idols, snakes, monkeys and men? By the way, the list of questions is too lengthy. Hope to see an event on the Hindu identity someday. Anyways, coming to the event that was watched by many, there was a set agenda by the media people. The agenda is to pose questions in such a manner that you get an incomplete answer and make the members in the panel to argue and end up in disagreements. This is an art in itself to bring differences amongst the people, and Barkha was trying her best to do that, while her true colors were shown by her face and body language in the course of doing that. By the way, everyone is not too good to have mastered this art as Tim Sebastian of BBC has, a witty and a shrewd moderator indeed. The questions posed by Barkha were not in any way to know the reason for the skull caps or burqas, but was to show the collision between the learned and the ignorant. How can anyone expect one answer in unison from the people of two extremes? While Shahrukh Khan himself said he does not have much knowledge about Islam, to ask his opinion on the subject is to make him make mistakes and errors. For example, if we call parents and the children below the age of 6 to share the panels and ask them one common question, is it necessary to give vaccinations to the children? We are sure about the answer that we would get. No from children and yes from parents. One need not be a PhD to know this. The children out of ignorance would say no to the injections and vaccines, while on the other hand, the parents with wisdom and knowledge would say yes to give injections and vaccines. Even though the parents know of the pain that their children would undergo, they would decide on this being aware of the benefits of the vaccines. And that's the impact of having knowledge. Similarly, there were differences of thinking between the learned men and the ignorant men. Shahrukh was a truthful person, for he said he does not have knowledge on Islam. Well, to say that I don't know is in itself half the knowledge. I congratulate Shahrukh for that. But the man Kabir, who happens to be an ignorant on Islam, believes to know all about Islam. Now that's a disaster. While Dr. Zakir gave the definition of being a good Muslim, Kabir at once jumped with the comment by saying that it was a narrow understanding of Islam. Look at the ant challenging the elephant. What a miserable Kabir. Kabir never gave his broader understanding of Islam anyway. Now the moderator Barkha Dutt got what she wanted. The idea was to snub the scholars and the learned. They got what they wanted. Well, to talk about the media's strategies to get their set mileage would get too lengthy to deal with it now. I would skip some of the comments, this being a lengthy thing, and go on to the more interesting ones for our audience and Dr. Zakir. The issue of wearing skull caps and burqas were discussed in the forum. Mr. Ali Khan rightly said that even the Sikhs wearing the turbans and sporting the beards as well. In fact, people of all faiths have a symbol or label to represent the community. It is simple to understand. If NDTV channel and other channels didn't have a logo, it would be difficult to identify NDTV channel. While one is scrolling through the channels, imagine if the policemen, the advocates and the doctors wore a common uniform. It would be total chaos. Lunatic fringe. This was the expression that was directed toward the religious and learned Muslims in general. That was outrageous. If the comment was made on a specific group, that can at least be tolerated, but to make a general statement on them was totally misleading. We request the NDTV 24/7 to organize a debate between Dr. Zakir Naik and Barkha Dutt on the subject, is Islam the only solution for peace in India? If the NDTV has guts, let them relay it live to the masses as well. It's time for the Muslims to use all the media to spread the true message of Islam in an upright and forthright manner. This was written by Brother Umar Sharif, who is the president of Discover Islam Educational Trust, Bangalore.
If NDTV agrees, which I doubt, I will surely love to have a debate as long as it is aired live with Barkha Dutt on any topic on Islam, even the same topic, Muslim mandate. But it should be live. It would be my pleasure.
That was the open, truthful, exposing comment of Dr. Zakir. Let it be live, let it be fair, let it be just. I am all for it to explain my viewpoint. And we hope we see this dialogue of understanding the truth coming to light someday, inshallah.
But naturally, but the time given to both the speakers should be equal. It should not be moderated by anyone or changed. Equal time to both the speakers, irrespective whether it is 10 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours. If both get equal opportunity to present the point, whether the moderator likes it or not, that is truthfulness, not to cut down or to interject.
Jazakallah khair, Dr. Zakir Naik, for giving us so much time, for our brothers here, as well as many watching you on television. Can we just conclude on this, the most important point we would like to know, your advice and comments to all our Muslim brothers and sisters after all these various viewpoints, discussions, some critical, some favorable. The point they would like to ask you, your advice and comments on, should Muslims take part in talk shows?
As far as should Muslims take part in talk shows or not, point number one, whenever a Muslim sees a talk show, he should realize what is the agenda behind it. And if they see that Islam is being maligned, it can be two things. Either they bring a person who calls himself a Muslim but has no knowledge of Islam, so he makes a fool of himself, and he easily lets Islam be maligned. Or they may get a person who is knowledgeable and may not give him an opportunity to speak. So in this scenario, my advice to the Muslim Ummah, as far as attending talk shows are concerned, that if the person has no knowledge, he should not attend. But if the person has knowledge, and if he comes on the media otherwise, whether the print media or satellite media, he should not take part in a talk show generally without putting down conditions, because there are high chances that his answer will be manipulated. But on the other hand, if a person has knowledge on Islam and is well versed with the media but has no opportunity to come on the media, then he should take part so that at least the damage done by the media is minimized. As far as my final advice to the Muslim Ummah is concerned, that whenever they watch any channel, whether it be a news channel, whether it be entertainment channel, whichever channel it is, keep in mind that one of the main agendas of the media is to malign Islam. So whenever they find that Islam is being maligned, don't be impressed by it. It may be a distorted form. Therefore, if you see my talk, Media and Islam, War or Peace, I have said in detail how does the media go to different extents in trying to fulfill the agenda. That's the reason I personally am not too much in favor of news channels. Because according to me, news channels are more dangerous than the other channels. Because the other channels may have certain haram on it, maybe dancing, maybe singing, maybe pornography. But the news channel, it endangers the iman of a Muslim. It can lead to kufr. Therefore, according to me, the news channels are more dangerous than the other channels, especially for a Muslim. It can attack his iman and lead him to kufr. Therefore, beware. Whenever you watch a news channel, don't get swayed away by it. When you read a newspaper, even the newspaper is biased. But for an average man to decipher the wrong information given in a print media is easier than on a news channel, a television channel, because a television channel involves vision and audio. And if that is manipulated, a layman may not know the difference and will think that actually happened. That's the reason. Be careful next time you watch any news channel or talk show, and then inshallah you may be able to decipher, if not all, at least part of the deceit of the media. Wa akhir da'wana alhamdulillah bil alamin.